I think that's going to be where you need to belong.
That sounds good.
That's where you live.
That's where I live.
That's the spot.
I cannot believe the video that you sent to me when I was in my car on the way here. It was of you
Yeah.
sitting at your desk with a plate of fried eggs.
Oh, right there. Fried eggs on the beat when the beat drop.
The beat drop.
Because this beat cracking.
This beat cracking.
No, it was, I wanted to eat my eggs and meat before you got here.
But you planned
Shut
it.
up. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Cold Hands, Warm Hearts, the eggiest, meatiest podcast on the World Wide Web. Yeah, I feel like you are being really disrespectful to, that's behind the scenes stuff.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Those weren't on-air eggs.
Okay. Because there's a difference.
There's a big difference.
Our listeners know. Hey, who are you?
Hey guys, I'm Brandon. I'm one half of the Cold Hands, Warm Hearts podcasting duo.
And I'm Ashley Engle. I'm the other half. And guys, as usual, we are thrilled to be here with you.
Thrilled.
We're actually recording twice. This is the second time in the same week because
But they don't need to know that because
I think they do. Why are you so against them knowing the behind the scenes?
Because my eggs weren't radio ready eggs.
Oh, you say that. However, was I late today? Yes.
Tardiness. Pass the tardy sauce.
I was. And you scheduled those eggs. You were at the desk ready to record at 1 p.m. So don't act like you weren't going to eat those eggs on air.
Scheduled those eggs. Here's the thing about those eggs, guys. Here's what I've got going. I've got an experiment. We'll call it an egg experiment. And what it is, that was on the fly, too.
That was good.
That was pretty salty. Listen, hey, guys, I am trying different types of eggs to see which eggs sound the best on the podcast.
I'm going to stop this experiment right now. None of them sound good on the podcast. Not a one.
This was
They're all
discussed
juicy,
in the production meeting. Juicy smacky. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the juiciest, smackiest podcast. Because I feel like last time I had eggs with you guys, with all you guys and gals out there in podcast land, I had hard-boileds, and hard-boileds require, I find, a significant amount more chewing.
Saliva, also. They're very dry.
Yeah, well, listen, not the way I make them. It's 12 minutes, boil, and then you let cool, shock them to stop the cooking process in ice water bath, peel, and consume. There is a
loud vehicle.
Helicopter. Nope, that's a car.
Okay.
That's someone just Tokyo drifting past my window.
His neighborhood is wild, you guys.
He lives his life
You're
a
in
quarter
suburbia.
mile at the time. Listen, I had today over easy eggs that I made.
That's
and
kind.
I feel like
That's how I take mine.
Those would, well, that's awesome. Good for you. I feel like those would be the best podcast eggs, other than the clinking on the plate. But I love a good sop. I like to sop them up. And today I had some leftover brisket that I made the other day, low and slow. And I just sopped. I sopped to my heart's content, to delight.
Can we just agree, though, to not eat
on anything ever? Yeah, no.
In our lives.
The answer is no.
But to not eat eggs on the podcast, I don't want it. I don't think the listeners want it.
I didn't get
You can do that on your other podcast, Let's Talk Toilets.
Right. I didn't get
eggs.
I didn't get into this open source long form medium to be censored by the likes of you. Okay?
Well, you signed up to do it with the wrong person.
You know what I say? This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Okay? Hide it under a wet blanket? No. I'm going to let it shine.
Call back. Call back to last episode.
Yeah, guys, I like to call back to... The way I said back was weird. Hey, listen, I think that we'll just table the eggs conversation and we'll move on with whatever nonsense you have written out in this agenda that I'm just now seeing for the first time.
I just sent it to him, but he wouldn't have looked at it in advance anyway.
No.
You guys know it. I know it. He knows it.
Guys,
He hates an agenda.
I I have an agenda against an agenda. And here's the thing. I've told you guys that I am currently cultivating a devil may care, shoot from the hip Ryan Reynolds persona.
Yeah.
And do you think Ryan would check an agenda? No. Hot takes with Brandon.
So one thing that we promised you guys that we would do, and we're going to keep up with this practice because it's fun, because you guys are funny.
Oh, is this
you are silly.
You guys are silly.
And funny.
Funny.
And we have a bit of a competition, a contest, if you will.
You sound terrible.
Well,
no,
I'm going to be
didn't.
real self-conscious from this point forward. I'll just sit way back into the cushions and perhaps
These shorts I'm
snacking.
wearing are very swishy today, so I'm going to try to not
Move
at all, because every time I move, you get a big swish. And these are like nice shorts though. They have a button and a zipper on them and everything. They're not the sweatpants that I normally wear on the podcast.
You look nice.
Do I sound like I look nice, guys? I feel nice.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep your ears out for a good swish here and there.
100%. Will do.
That was my mouth, not my pants. That was my mouth, not my pants. That's a good title.
I don't know if I like it. I mean, I do.
But I don't.
But I don't.
That's okay.
So, again, one thing that we said we would do, because you guys are so funny, is we promised that we would read your reviews. And we have a competition going. It's the Orbit Sweet Mint, you know.
Brought to you by Orbit Sweet Mint without prior written consent or knowledge from Orbit Sweet Mint. But you know what?
We've tried to get in touch with them, but they want nothing to do with us, guys.
And which is crazy.
Their sales have had to have experienced a bump.
At least by a pack or two.
In the last month.
I got a brick of it from Ted and Sophie, and that's a nice little uptick in Oklahoma sales.
That's quite the quantity.
Quite the quantity.
So we have 2 reviews from you guys that we want to read today, and they are written out here. Brandon's going to read them. Here they are.
Oh, this is me again?
This is you.
From Yeah, boy. It's a lot of Y's, a lot of E's, a lot of A's, one B, a lot of O's,
vowels.
and a bunch of I's. Yeah, someone broke the bank on Wheel of Fortune on this one, because you have to buy vowels, you guys. Hey, I'm on a 130-day Wordle streak.
I don't play Wordle. I don't need it in my life. The stress of it.
Okay.
Continue.
Yeah, boy. Un periódico with espinaca, please. PLS, please.
Would you like to explain who that's from and why?
That's gotta be from Zeke.
It is.
Our dear friend.
Dear friend
and
Zeke.
Wonderful Spanish professor who always encourages me to practicar mi español mucho más. Necesito practicar mi español mucho más. ¿Puede hacer una traducción para mí, por favor, Professor Z?
Ooh, he's going to like that.
No, he's going to correct a lot of that, I'm sure. But hey, that's from Zeke, a.k.a. Yeah, boy.
Thank you, Zeke.
Thank you, Zeke. We love you.
Love that review. Okay, next one.
Next one, okay. From Treps Trash. I'm here for any podcast that pushes fancy gum, and this is the best gum-pushing podcast on the planet. Do you know who Treps Trash is?
I probably can assume.
Michael Trepanier.
Notice he didn't say anything about my voice.
No, he didn't, because he wanted to win the Orbit Sweet Mint Gum Challenge. And you know what? Can I tell you something? I told you I was just at his studio recently, earlier today, in fact, and he just ran out of gum.
Perfect timing.
I mean, kismet.
Perfect timing. Both of these guys win some Orbit Sweet Mint.
Kismet.
The next time we see both of you, gum coming your way.
Chicle para tigo.
Get ready.
Get ready for some gum.
That's right. So, again, these reviews are fantastic. You okay?
I didn't warm up my vocals before this.
Just strained them. Look out for nodules.
I need a B12 shot.
Okay.
I need the Mariah's Gotta Sing Tonight. I need that.
Also, maybe some steroids, just right in there.
I guarantee you that's in the Mariah's Gotta Sing Tonight cocktail.
It has to be. She hits notes that no one else can
She's
hit.
also like a crazy person.
Do you know her personally?
No, but come on.
Okay, I'm going to steer us back to reviews.
Yeah, bring it back. Way back.
Before we put some false info out there about Miss Carey.
Okay, first and foremost, that's not false.
I think she would pride herself on being a bit of a diva. I think when you reach that level of...
Diva?
Yeah, of stardom in terms of being a solo female artist with a range that just spans...
Just won't quit.
All of the octaves that won't quit. I think that's a persona, that diva. You know, you're going to demand certain M&M colors.
Yeah.
You're going to demand...
She dated Eminem.
Really?
Or that's the rumor. He says.
Oh.
And she says. There's a real he says, she says. And this brings me to my next segment.
Well, let me finish up here with the ratings.
Hot celebrity takes on Mariah Carey.
Hold it. Hold that thought. I'm extending a hand toward Brandon.
I just got it was like you were casting spells at me.
Cast a spell. Halt. What would that be?
In Harry Potter?
Yeah. Arresto.
Quit it, you.
Stop it, guy. Avada Kedavra.
Okay. That's jumping straight to a forbidden curse.
I'm going to do that when I need you to halt.
The forbidden curses confuse me because Crucio seems pretty terrible.
Yeah, torture.
Avada Kedavra seems pretty terrible.
Death.
Imperio is just like the controlling one.
Yeah.
Seems like Imperio is to humans as Wingardium Leviosa is to items. And that's not forbidden. You control those.
Yeah, but when you take over someone's will and that's unforgivable.
Yeah, but also...
is what that is.
But how is like the Felix Felicis or whatever, like the liquid luck, how is that not forbidden?
That's a good question. Because I think you are really dabbling in some...
dark arts.
Yeah.
Dark arts. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
So,
why does anybody bother with the quaffle if the snitch is worth so much?
Right?
Why even bother with the quaffle?
Right?
There's a podcast title.
I think that's it.
It's pretty good.
I think we can pack up and go today.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to Colin. Oh, we're not done? Okay.
Because those matches
are
brutal.
Brutal. Gnarly. Quaffle. Bludgers.
People
beater.
breaking bones, having to be regrown.
Quaffles.
Harry's
bludgers,
arm was like rubber.
Beaters. Mr. Potter. I was trying to go for a McGonagall, but I couldn't. The First Lady of the British Theatre, a national treasure, Maggie Smith. She played Granny Wendy on Hook, and she was old then. She's been old.
Has not changed.
She is the Tilly of British theatre.
I love her.
Persistent Maggie Smith.
Her.
Lady Maggie Smith.
Love. Okay, so reviews. Back to those. Avada Kedavra. I'm going to stop you in your tracks.
You've got to stop. That's putting bad juju out there if you're throwing kill spells at me across
Just at you.
Okay.
Not at the listeners. So, guys, we appreciate your ratings and reviews so much. Again, as we let you know in the last podcast, we're learning a lot as we go.
Learning so much.
We are building the airplane in the air.
Yeah, we really are.
Started with no airplane.
That's a great way to put it.
Jumping off a cliff and building it as we plummet to the ground. And the reviews help us so much, and the ratings. And it's so annoying that we ask you for them constantly. But they're important.
But a closed mouth don't get fed.
That's right.
Squeaky wheel gets the grease.
That's right.
You don't ask. You don't get. So, guys, please give us a rating, a review. 5 stars. We'll give you gum.
We'll give you gum.
You know what's really funny?
From a company that doesn't want us.
We'll give you gum from a company that doesn't want us. Here's the thing.
There's a title possible.
I always had this theory. You know, there are different people in school. We've discussed the different people in school. And one of the people in school that I always thought was very interesting was the kid who offers everyone gum to buy their affection. And there was one of those at my high school. He would go on his lunch break, because we had open campus, and he would go and get multiple Plenty packs, and he would walk around with fistfuls of gum, offering gum to people as a means of like prison yard bartering, but like instead of cigarettes, it was chewing gum. And I hadn't thought about it till just now. We're the gum kids of the internet.
We're the gum kids of the internet.
We are having to offer people gum to tell us we're good. Hey guys, tell us we're good. We'll give you gum.
Oh, that's sad.
We're the saddest.
I don't want to be that kid.
Well, that's too late. We're in too deep. We're in too deep on this orbit thing.
Episode 1, you put us in that lane.
I set us on a gum trajectory pretty early on.
There's no turning back now.
There's not. It makes you wonder when this bubble's going to pop.
So on that...
That was a really good gum pun, and you just...
I'm sorry. I have to keep us moving forward.
It's fine. Ashley is feeling very weird and giving me very weird looks because I took an extended pause because I needed an edit point in the podcast.
Which is wild because I don't know what that is because we've never done it.
Yeah, well,
we don't edit, guys. That's how professional
All right, fine. I'll leave it in.
We go straight through here.
That's how we do.
And so that's why I'm confused. Okay. So,
God, your swallows.
Okay,
your swallows are so sibilant.
Now I'm so self-conscious about my mouth noises.
Just don't look at the producer. He doesn't swallow during the podcast.
He's all the way across the room.
He's all the way across the room, and he doesn't swallow. I've watched him drool on himself multiple times during this podcast.
He wears a bib, you guys.
He wears a lobster bib.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we want to direct you to our social media, guys. We are at CHWH.
Very professional.
It is. It's run by someone who's very competent, organized, funny, and
a wet blanket.
And a wet blanket.
The wettest blanket.
West of the Mississippi.
In the linen closet. The wettest blanket.
So we want to direct you to those. We have fun over there on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at CHWH Pod. So join us there. We post pictures.
Have you tweeted yet?
Yes. Yes.
Cool.
Our Twitter community isn't very large at the moment. We got a handful of followers on Twitter.
I don't even know that I follow it. I might need to.
And that's
so basically what I'm saying,
building
guys,
an airplane in the air.
Basically what I'm saying, guys, is we are crushing it on Twitter. We are.
I don't understand Twitter.
You say stuff.
Well, I know. But I get on there, and I'm such a visual person. That's why I like Instagram. Not a huge fan of Facebook. Just because there's so much meanness there.
Yeah, but now you are putting us in the bad algorithm now.
Is that how it happens?
Zuckerberg's listening. Always watching, always judging.
Look at the baby. So anyway, join us on the socials. It is so much fun. Gosh. What's been going on this week for you? I came and watched you play live music at a party.
You did, at a pool party at a neighborhood.
Yeah.
I did that. It was fun.
But you say that. This neighborhood is
wonderful.
Gorgeous. This is like a resort. I have never seen such a beautiful clubhouse / pool area in a neighborhood in my life. It was really nice.
And they decided to just completely muck it up by putting me out there singing my nonsense.
It. You were wonderful.
It was so hot.
When I arrived there, it was 8 p.m. It was still 96 degrees.
I had become sweat.
Your shirt was soaked.
Well, come on. Like when you get out of a sweaty situation, you go home and you change and you think, oh, I hope no one got pictures of that. I hope no one realized how sweaty I was. And now we're discussing it on the internet.
Oh no, guys, big secret. When Brandon gets hot, he sweats.
Yeah. Listen, You're
never going to think of him the same.
Can I ask you a question?
Maybe.
Have you ever seen Ryan Reynolds sweat? And I'm chasing that dragon. I'm trying to know. Listen, exactly. But now everyone on our podcast knows I sweat like hot.
Oh no, they know you're not Ryan Reynolds. You've done a really good job.
You take it back. Avada Kedavra. You take it back.
Avada Kedavra.
Oh man.
So
you're a wizard, Harry. No, is that a good Hagrid?
Pretty good.
You're a wizard. No. God, I wandered into this one.
Yeah, you did.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Oh, yes.
Better?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay.
Okay.
Gosh, do you know what?
Nope.
Noodle Diane.
We're in so much trouble. Casting doubt.
Okay, get us back on track, please.
So, I want to mention one thing fun, because I know how much you love the Enneagram.
Yeah.
And
it's awesome.
My dear friend. Becky Endicott.
And a very professional podcaster.
A very professional.
And has
it happens.
And has sent us messages to be like, hey, and she goes through podcast jargon.
Yeah.
And she'll say all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I know that it makes sense.
Yeah.
To her.
Yeah.
But when I read it, I'm like,
what is that?
Yeah.
And we're immediately Googling, binging all the jargon.
But
she's being so helpful.
She's so helpful.
Given us so many good tips. But she has a company. It's a It's called We Are For Good, and they have a very successful, very professional podcast that is tailored to the nonprofit community, those who work in nonprofits. And so they invited me on there, guys, to talk about the Enneagram, which is one of my favorite things to talk about.
Might want to change the name of that episode to We Are For Bored. Right? Hey, Becky, right?
You did it, Brandon. You really got it. But so that episode came out today, and so I just want to do a little cross promotion for that episode. If you're into the Enneagram, or even if you're not, if you're just curious about it, go listen to that, because we had a lot of fun over there talking about it. It's a 2-part series, so first part comes out today, next part comes out next Friday.
I think that it is amazing that you somehow were able to weasel your way onto an actual real live podcast with real live people doing real live stuff.
Professional. That was my biggest concern. I said, Becky, your audience is so But can I say
How many eggs did you eat on the podcast?
0 eggs.
Okay, well then you did it wrong.
I came in with the plate and they were like, get out.
Get out. That's not
Avada
professional.
Kedavra.
That's not professional.
Out of here with those.
Avada Kedavra. God.
And they cast some spells on me, and I said, okay. And I moved him out of the frame. But that was actually the catalyst, that recording that episode, the catalyst for this whole podcast. Because at the end of it, I said, my brother and I are tossing around this idea. And then that's out there on the internet.
Yeah,
and I was like, Brandon, we have to make a podcast now.
And once it's out on the internet, it's not coming back.
It's not coming back.
We have a podcast, and Brandon is a sweaty pile of mess. These are 2 facts that went out today. Extra, read all about it.
Okay, so anyway, just a little cross promo and something fun if you're interested in that at all. Okay,
I love just the ego on you that we're actually promoting them. Like
right, like anyone from our community, and vice versa.
Yeah, right. Well, to me, it's just like it would be like me reposting
Mariah Carey.
John Mayer and being like, "Hey, everybody, you should check this guy out."
You might enjoy him. He's pretty good.
He's pretty good. I've built up a reputation over here.
I have dozens of followers, and maybe 2 of them would love building an airplane in the air. All right, so let's get to the meat of the podcast. Circling back to the meatiest podcast.
Brisket and eggs.
Okay. You have teased for the last 2 weeks a story about how
I've been teasing for way longer than that.
I've been teasing for your whole life. How you accidentally started a gang in middle school.
Yeah.
So let's just dive in. Just go.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Run with it.
I'm
here.
Okay. So please provide any sort of additional color commentary or opinions and feedback.
Mouth sounds.
Mouth sounds with Ashley Engle. Hey, everybody. Hey, did you wake up this morning with an incessant need to hear someone smack their lips and swallow?
I love how there was no comment made about the eggs.
No.
But the occasional smack that I'll do between thoughts.
Yeah.
Is what's mentioned. But that's fine, whatever.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to... Well, she coughs right in the middle of
my... And a smack and a throat clear just for you.
Welcome back to Contemplative Smacks.
That's my podcast. Here's his toilet talk. Mine's Contemplative Smacks. Okay, in-school suspension, please.
Yes, so that's what they said to me.
Get in there.
Please. But they were very polite about it. So I was sitting... in Mrs. Linville's science class.
Oh.
Wonderful lady. Wonderful. Love their whole family. Kellen Linville. Shout out Kellen Linville. Doesn't listen to this, but he's out there.
Yeah.
And I'm shouting him out.
Someday he might.
Wonderful guy. And wonderful teacher, Miss Linville. She we were watching a video, and it was dark in the room. And I was sitting there with my friend.
Which you knew it was going to be a good day in class.
Oh, gosh. When they rolled in the bubble-backed TV.
The beast on the cart.
And you just heard it coming down the hallway at that one bad wheel squeaking down the hallway. And it was just, there wasn't a sense of foreboding like there normally would be if you heard a squeaky wheel coming down an empty hallway. It was, we're going to watch a movie.
Something. Do you remember what you were watching?
I do.
Please, what?
It was...
Okay.
How to put this? Sensual education.
Oh.
That's what Miss Linville taught.
You were starting a gang during that? I would think that would hold your attention in middle school.
Not on purpose. I would have didn't start gangering.
Okay,
So
okay,
what happened
continue.
was my dear friend, Baba Tunde, Ayodele Dishano Gundape. He goes by Baba. He is one of the funniest people ever.
Yes.
He had a paperclip in his hand. And this, I think, is the order it happened in. But
Yeah,
I'm not blaming anyone. He reached over and scratched my arm with it.
Yeah, as you do.
And I went, ouch. And I took it and scratched his arm back with it. Same paperclip. So, not a great move. He then goes, ouch. Took it from me, scratched the side of my face with it. And I go, ouch. And I took it from him, scratched the side of his face with it.
And let me just stop you now and say, as a mother of 2 boys around this age, this kind of thing happens on the daily. This is not out of the ordinary. This is a thing that children do.
Well,
maybe not with paper clips, but this kind of back and forth.
Yes.
Retributive violence.
General nonsense, chicanery,
Yes.
tomfoolery,
Yes.
ballyhoo.
Ballyhoo. I just want to throw that
So
out
we
there.
scratch each other's faces. And right about that time, the lights come on because the video has ended. And someone leans forward and saw the scratches on our faces and goes, hey, that looks cool. Can I have one? And we went, okay. And then...
That looks tough.
And that began the wildfire-like spread of middle school boys scratching each other's faces with the same paperclip.
Yeah.
Yuck.
So that was also during a time, though. Remember DARE to keep kids off drugs?
I do remember Dare.
And we would go to that.
Swishy shorts, sorry.
Yeah, that was so swishy.
The swishiest shorts. Swishy
I have
shorts.
squeaky
Unlike
shoes.
me when I was sweaty the other day and I had squishy shorts.
Squishy shorts.
Squishyshorts.com. Don't go there.
Dude.
Not plugging that. So
Now we're in an algorithm that we got to get out of.
Ladies and
Avada
gentlemen,
Kedavra on that.
this podcast brought to you by Squishy Shorts. .fart.
Oh, you had to do it.
Yeah.
So this was during a time when
We were daring to keep kids off drugs.
daring to keep kids off drugs.
But not out of gangs.
with everything we had. No, I remember lots of talk about gangs in counseling.
Oh.
Like the Crips.
Oh.
The Bloods.
Uh-huh.
The
Go on. Please.
Bananas. Wasn't there a banana?
The bananas? Holy moly.
Wasn't there? For some reason, that just popped into my brain. Wasn't there a banana gang? Producer Google.
Google if there was a banana gang.
Oh, the Latin Kings.
They were. Okay. That's an actual one.
Why did I say banana? I need someone to follow up on this because I'm telling you.
Producer, will you look to see if there was a banana gang?
But what I'm saying is there was this consciousness about gangs. It was a frenzy. And also about like bloodborne diseases.
Frenzy. I'm playing music at a place called Frenzy tonight, but this will air long after that.
But you play there a lot.
I do play there a lot.
So check in on their events calendar.
Wonderful place.
It's a super fun place.
Great people.
Trivia nights, all kinds of stuff.
They're doing a Harry Potter letter day party coming up.
Yes. Oh, so fun. I would love to receive a letter from Hogwarts. What house would you be?
I'm hearing from our producer that there was no banana gang.
Here's a niche for us to fill.
Oh my gosh.
If you want to be in the banana gang, come over and we'll scratch your face with a paper clip. It's the initiation rite.
I mean, listen, it's no more ridiculous than what was actually going on.
And we'll give you a banana. Okay.
Now we're not just the gum kids, we're the banana kids at that.
If you'll be our friend and write a review.
Guys, please be our friend and write a review. Join our gang. Let me scratch you. Here's some gum. Here's a banana, you guys.
Here's a banana.
Here's a banana.
I don't know. That is the most nonsensical thought I've ever had.
Anyway,
But you're welcome for that.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
so
go
here we
on.
are. Flashback and a hail of gene codes and perspiration.
Some hypercolor t-shirts.
So basically, long story short, spread like wildfire. The gang got huge. Huge, guys. Think Banana Gang, but like times 10. Banana Gang to the power of a plantain. And we, long story short, not very short, but I was placed in in-school suspension, where, as you are well aware, my mother packed me an egg salad sandwich on my first day in prison, only for me to be embarrassed during rec time by the warden when he told me that it smelled like somebody went over to my little cubicle and pooped. So,
because you had cubicles.
I'm going to tell you one thing
You
that
could
happened.
not be out with the general population.
No, I was not Gen Pop. I was not Gen Pop.
This was lockdown.
That's gangland stuff. You wind up in ISSP having started a gang, you're catching a banana to the liver.
And you're sitting in a cubicle.
You're sitting in a cubicle. You better watch your back.
I wouldn't know. I've never been.
That checks out, nerd. You were at the snow cone stand reading Stephen King by yourself. You weirdo. You prematurely geriatric weirdo, just wearing a shawl.
Just an old soul.
Just, just like slowly but surely hearing every bone in your body crack as you stood up to scoop the ice.
I do have very cracky bones.
Not a great job for Renaud's hands, by the way.
Listen.
I'm listening.
I'm going to say
Nobody else is, but I am.
Okay. I'm going to say that's where it happened, where it all started.
Where it all began. Listen, so here's one thing that happened while I was in in-school suspension, and I'll make this quick.
Hey,
listen,
do you know what? We're switching roles today.
I'm road mapping this thing. Maps
it.
are real.
Do it.
So I was in-school suspension and Stillwater Middle School at the time. Not a large facility, not a lot going for it at the time. I don't know what's going on now, but back then, not a lot of space. So whenever they had to do certain activities, they would have to like section off rooms and use the same room for two activities. So one day during lunch, they were having academic bowl tryouts in the in-school suspension
Forgot
room.
about this.
And they put us behind like a retractable like curtain, like wall kind of thing. And they came in and they said...
An accordion.
And they basically said, like they were addressing a room full of inmates. They're like, you all shut up when the smart kids are doing their smart kid things on the other side of the curtain. And I was sitting there and they had a revolving door of people coming in and trying out. And I was so shocked that everyone trying out for the academic bowl was an idiot and didn't know anything.
Also, apologies to anyone who's listening who tried out that day.
They're not smart enough to figure out how to get a podcast on their phone anyways. I listened to them get asked questions and they were just not answering them. And I was slowly boiling over in my little cubicle, just sitting over there, just like gnashing teeth, eating my egg salad sandwich, just like boiling.
Biting your tongue.
Biting my tongue. And so eventually I got sick of it and I just started yelling out the answers from the other side of the curtain. And instead of telling me to shut up, at the end of it, they said, would you like to try out on some sort of work release program? Would you like to try out
Middle school
would you
work
like
release
to try out for the academic bowl team? Guys, I tried out for listen, not everybody gets out the way that I did. Not everybody has the opportunity to rise above adversity and get out of ISSP in the way that I did. Now listen, I was on that academic bowl team. We toured the state dominating.
Did you?
We were really good.
What was your area of expertise?
That's funny you should ask. We'll say not math. Because
Brandon and I, we're not math scholars.
I was the pop culture, sports, and general miscellaneous nonsense guy.
Sure.
But I also was very fast on a buzzer.
Oh.
To my own detriment at times, because I did this enough times early in my tenure on the academic bowl team. I buzzed into a math question and I just didn't have an answer. I don't know math. And so the rule was established, and this is not a lie. They said, Brandon, you're doing great.
Yeah.
But when there's a math question, they always, before the math questions, they go, math, and then they say the question. I was forced to set my buzzer down and sit on my hands during math questions.
Oh, bless it.
Because not only am I an idiot when it comes to math.
That's not true. You have a degree in finance.
Doesn't matter.
A master's degree.
It's true, but I don't know how that happened. But listen, I have no prior knowledge of mathematics and zero impulse control. And that's very dangerous.
Middle schoolers in general, and I would venture to say middle school boys in particular, impulse control is not their strongest suit. Mm-mm. So you had the cards stacked against you.
I did. You know what? I've had the cards stacked against me from the start.
But listen, you powered through and you got that degree in finance.
I did.
You did it. You use finance in your day-to-day.
I suppose I do.
Yeah.
Gas is $4 a gallon.
That's right.
Like things like that.
Sure.
This gum is $3.19. That is 4 eggs right there.
Stop it. But you got out of in school. We could liken it to someone like who strikes a deal with prosecutors.
It's very, yes.
For like being a snitch.
You
weren't a snitch.
No. Those get stitches. I don't get stitches. Snitches get stitches.
You don't.
Here's the
I'm
thing.
just saying. I'm trying to.
Do you know what I was more like?
What?
I was more like an Andy Dufresne from the Shawshank Redemption, who does all the guards and the warden's taxes. Mm-hmm. You know.
I just started weeping involuntarily at the mere mention of Andy Dufresne.
Get busy living. Or get busy dying.
Can I tell you one thing about that movie?
Producer's nodding with me. He likes that reference a lot, Shawshank Redemption.
He loves that movie.
Do you know who wrote Shawshank? It was a short story.
Who?
Stephen King. You should know that.
I should know that.
You should have known that.
I had no idea.
Well.
That's an incredible fact. You're welcome.
Full of incredible facts.
Yeah.
Hot takes.
Hence your turn on the academic team.
I'm full of 3 things.
Okay.
Incredible facts. Hot takes. Eggs.
And gas.
Oh, okay. Well, eggs, gas, 6 and 1/2 dozen of the other. Just dozen.
So Shawshank Redemption, can I tell you?
Yes.
There are maybe like 3 movies that I have seen in my lifetime that I cannot and will not watch again because of how emotionally taxing. That's one of them. I have seen that movie exactly 1 time. Did you?
Sorry. That was a Topo Chico.
Just a little belch. And throat noise. Sorry, guys.
I'm going to edit all of mine out and turn yours up. Just to really
I'm already self-conscious enough about them at this point.
Yeah, The Shawshank Redemption is a
beautiful film.
It's a real
gut punch.
journey to the heart of what it is to be a human.
Yeah.
You know, that's my review of it.
Can I tell you one other movie that just popped into my mind that I cannot?
Porky's.
That's in there, but that's lower on the list.
That's different reasons.
It is The Road. Cormac McCarthy.
Yeah,
Did you see that film?
That one's pretty gnarly, though.
I have never been so mad at Jeff Engle in my life. But did he tell you?
But he didn't do anything.
He had read the book. Oh. So he knew what was coming. And he knows his wife, and he knew what it would do to me.
He did nothing, and in doing nothing, he did something.
He did something.
He made you watch it.
No, it was like, hey, let's go on a date. P.S. You're an overtired, emotional new mom. Let's have a night on the town, and let's watch a show where the dad is trying to keep his son alive in a post-apocalyptic world where people eat each other.
You're an overtired, emotional new mom. The Ashley Engle story.
There it is. Except now it's old mom. We'd have to adjust the wording.
Hey, I wouldn't say that. Okay, 50 is the new 40.
Okay.
You're crushing it.
Just winked at me. I am not even close to being in my 50s. How dare you?
But even if you were, it doesn't matter. It's the new 40, and the new 40 is the new 30.
Just roll it back.
Yeah, well, that's what we're doing.
So that movie, what happened in that theater was incredible because we went to the movie. I was already not responding to the movie appropriately. All right. Because I was not in a good place emotionally, physically, spiritually as a new mom. But we had two men in front of us. One of the guys put his feet on the guy in front of him's chair. Jeff is way better at telling this story, but I'm going to do my best.
No, then you should tell it.
Okay, you shut it because Jeff isn't here.
You're crushing it right now. Keep it up.
I'm setting the scene.
Okay.
So Ashley's already wound up from this emotionally. The guy puts his feet on the chair in front of him, and the guy is real annoyed that the feet are brushing his head, as one is.
As one is.
Turns around.
Feet off the merchandise, pal.
Feet off the proceeds to stand up, turn around, and give this guy what for.
Oh, I love
expletives.
I love when someone gives
someone
what for.
Do you love that in front of you?
As long as I'm not the one getting what for.
Do you like it?
I love when what fors are being dealt.
I can't. Because I am sweating now thinking about it. I'm fanning my armpits.
God, I'm sweating now thinking about it. The Ashley Engle story.
2 in 1 episode.
No, I like it in so much as I like to sit and go, what's gonna happen? Yeah, I'm like that guy.
Okay.
But I don't interject myself because I don't want what for.
You don't want what for. Well, you didn't want what for because both of these gentlemen were large. And
Listen, how much do you think they weighed? 100 pounds?
Oh, no. These were like grown men.
So I could not lift them right over my head?
Absolutely not.
I don't know.
No.
Very strong.
Nope. Absolutely not. So both of these gentlemen, so he gives him what for. There are expletives. Meanwhile, the movie's going.
What for?
And then the other guy gives it back, and it's a whole thing. They don't come to blows.
They both were giving what for?
Yeah, in the film. They don't come to blows.
No fisticuffs.
No fisticuffs. No Jack Johnson and Tom O'Leary.
No Jack Johnson and Tom O'Leary.
So they sit back down. Their wives, they were with significant others.
The wives.
Pull them down.
Were the wives trying to quell the fire
Totally.
in these masculine movie theater warriors?
So my emotions are already heightened.
My emotions are already heightened. The Ashley Engle story. This story is a gold mine of memoir titles, just by the way.
It really is. I was pitting out so bad. Number 4?
Yeah.
I was pitting out the Ashley Engle story. So already I am a basket case.
Golly. Would you quit with the softballs?
Avada Kedavra to you, sir. Stop talking.
God, what if one of those two gentlemen in the movie theater yelled Avada Kedavra to you, good sir, in the middle of the what for and the lack of fisticuffs?
And I would have stood up and applauded because that would have turned the whole thing around.
Slow clap.
Okay, but let me finish the story because here's the best part. That movie is so emotional.
So emotional.
And like you said, well, no, you said this about Shawshank, but I would say that there's an element of what it means to be human in this one as well. Like the lengths to which you'll go to for your family and for survival and what you'll do if...
So it makes sense. It makes sense that these gentlemen might engage in some aggression, given the fact that they're already in a very tense situation. And then, listen, the guy putting his feet on the other guy...
No, that's trash. You don't do that.
It's inexcusable behavior.
It is. I agree.
Were they bare, his feet?
I don't think so.
Gosh, have you ever seen a person walk around a Walmart barefoot and they get the Walmart foot? You know what I'm talking about? When someone walks in a grocery store with bare feet,
gray.
They get the gray. And growing up, if ever I would walk around outside and the bottom of my feet would get dark, like from the dirt and stuff, I would refer to it as having Walmart foot because that is exactly what that is.
It is very disconcerting to see someone in a public building shoeless.
Yeah, no,
agree.
It's an unacceptable behavior.
It is. Oh, smack. Sorry.
Oh gosh.
Sorry, Michael.
Also an unacceptable behavior.
Okay, but so anyway.
Producer is shaking his head.
Okay.
He's even had it.
So, at the end of the film,
he looks so confused today.
He really does.
Anyways, go ahead.
It's okay, buddy. I'm almost finished with the story.
Swishy shorts.
So the movie ends, and we have been taken on this ride. And if you've never seen it, I don't know if I want to encourage you to see it. It is literally a gut punch. You will leave feeling so awful.
Ladies and gentlemen, this podcast brought to you by The Road by Cormac McCarthy. Just the worst review ever. I hope the production team behind The Road's not litigious because they're coming after us.
You know what? I got some spells ready for them.
Oh my gosh, listen, and now we're on trial for murder. And I'll tell you one place I don't want to wind up. Azkaban. Because Dementors...
Worst.
Dementors, bro?
Terrifying.
I don't even know what my patronus is.
Okay, I want to let's put a pin. Because I got to finish my story.
What my patronus is?
Yeah,
okay.
Put a pin. Because I want both of us to determine this. This is important information.
Yeah, well...
So, at the end of the movie, we've been through this whole awful thing. And the guys stand up, and the guy who had the feet on him turned around. And it's like he'd had a complete change of heart based on where we'd been emotionally in this movie.
No.
Turns around and he goes, "Hey, man, listen, I'm really sorry about that. That was out of line. I'm real sorry." They shook hands. Not only that.
Did they hug?
Did they
embrace?
Over the row. Jeff and I were dead.
That is...
dead.
Listen, I take it back. The production team behind The Road should pay us for that review because...
Bringing people together.
I feel like I was just on a road to redemption. These two gentlemen stood up, bordering on fisticuffs.
Yeah.
Embraced each other.
Yeah.
The power of film.
Yeah.
The power of literature.
You know what it is? The power of the fear of being cannibalized.
What's funny, totally, because the dude in front should have been watching his back the whole time, because I'm about to take a big old bite out of your trap. I'm taking a bite out of the side of your neck, and that's what for. But what's funny is we're sitting here talking about how these guys were transformed by Viggo Morgenstein's role in the Road.
He had a real time there where he was something else.
Really what I think it was is these two guys sat down and their wives were so embarrassed that they were like, you need to apologize to that man right now. You need to apologize to that right. They gave him what for?
Probably. Just yanking him down. You sit down right now.
At the end of the day, the men embraced, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Podcast title.
It was an incredible thing to behold.
I bet.
Best part of that movie. Okay, so what's your patronus? And if you can't think of one, can I tell you what yours could be?
A bison.
No, I was going to say monkey.
A monkey riding a bison.
There it is.
And just...
Dual
patroni. My patroni is
a monkey riding a bison.
A majestic primate.
Oh, I can picture.
Atop his loyal steed.
Why is that making me laugh so hard? I just picture, and not like a chimpanzee, like a gangly
a buffalo
spider monkey.
Buffalo and a spider monkey.
Yes, what's mine?
A giraffe.
You're right. It is a giraffe.
Is it really?
Yes.
God, can you imagine, like, just a bunch of Dementors hanging out? And is that a giraffe?
Just galloping awkwardly.
Did that weird little wizard just cast a giraffe at me?
Weird little wizard. What did that gangly gal?
Did she just send the Toys R Us mascot to shut us down? Is that what just happened?
Why is it killing
That is the dumbest.
Why is that little Hufflepuff, that gangly little Hufflepuff,
with her frizzy hair and her ill-fitting robe, casting a giraffe?
Her robe that's too short and her high water robes.
Someone help her. Someone help her. Why is she offering all the kids gum?
What house would you be in, Slytherin?
I mean, clearly. Oh gosh, can I tell you something that Michael Trepanier
I'm crying.
said that really made me laugh today? Is he goes, you know what would be a funny segment and would really fit your dynamic? Is at the end of the episode, instead of doing warm hearts, you just do Brandon does a cold hands and you do a warm heart, meaning that I just really say something terrible about somebody and then you talk about what warmed your heart.
And try to smooth it over. That reminds me of our friend Brandon, whom we reference often and adore.
He's the best.
He's so totally disjointed there. Ugh, he's the best.
Well, that's how I feel about him.
Sure.
Ugh, he's the best.
I know.
You know what I send him almost every chance I can?
What?
Bean memes.
Beans?
Just pictures of beans. He hates it. I'll just send him a picture of shoes full of maple glazed beans.
Oh, that's awful.
And he'll say, why? And I'll say, you know why.
You're welcome.
And that's it.
I love that.
It's great. Go back to Brendan.
But he said, after one of our first episodes, which I couldn't believe he actually listened, but he said, great episode. I am going to start my own, though. And it's just going to be refuting everything you said. And I said, it's going to be called Warm Hands, Cold Heart.
Which is a hilarious notion. And really, it's just us capitalizing and diversifying our podcast empire. Because, guys, this thing is a runaway train. This thing is a runaway train, and we can't stop it.
We can't.
You can't stop it.
No.
Can't stop, won't stop. You know where we're going? We're like a rocket. You know where rockets go?
To the moon.
Orbit. Hey, Orbit Gum, please come sponsor our podcast. At least give it a listen. Or at least give us an answer. Don't leave us on red.
Do you know what we'll give you if you do?
Oh, gum. Gosh, we are so sad.
Pathetic.
We are the saddest.
Okay, so what are you watching, reading, or listening to this week?
That was a good transition.
Thanks.
Smooth? It felt really good to me.
Not a segue, though. Just a hard stop.
Guys, I have been watching a lot of a show. It's a little quick run. It's called Beachside Brawl. And it's two chefs competing against each other on a boardwalk making food. And I think it's so stupid that I'm watching it, but I'm engaged.
You're engaged.
I'm engrossed.
And the best part about it is they're fierce competitors, but you know what brings them together at the end?
Gum.
The road.
Oh, they hug. That's what happens is it's actually a cooking show where they're cooking up human meat. And at the end, they embrace because their wives said to. Listen, can I jump topics? Not topics, but just things that I'm watching. Took Benjamin to...
Your boy.
My boy.
My boy.
Took him to see the new Minions movie.
Oh.
Lindsay and I did, and it was wonderful. I liked it a lot. The Minions make me smile.
Yeah.
They're silly.
Hey.
Yeah.
Maybe Ben's patronus is a minion.
Just a minion riding a giraffe. Do you know what minions are, honestly? Because of their favorite food? They're the closest thing to a banana gang that there is. They literally are a banana gang. So I cannot believe you thought.
I don't know why. Listen, maybe the most insane random thought I've ever had in my life.
The Minions' language is a mixture of gibberish, Spanish,
Italian,
French, Italian.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. Okay, so what are you listening to, watching, or reading?
So you're watching a random show. My random show is one that I watch with Jeff because we've discussed how Jeff fancies himself a bit of a crocodile hunter.
He does, and
He's
I fancy him just in general.
I fancy him.
As you like it.
As you like it.
Oh.
I fancy you, Geoffrey. So,
would you like some beans? Beans on toast, Brendan. Would you like
beans in a shoe?
Would you like some beans in an old leather shoe, Brendan?
Beans in your knickers?
Oh, beans in your knickers is a really good title.
Please. So we've started watching a show called Alone. It is a show with multiple seasons, but we're watching the latest, where they just drop people in the wilderness and they have to survive. Yeah. But this one is brutal.
Sounds...
You know why? Because winter is coming.
Oh,
They have to
Game
build
of Thrones business.
They have like 10 things they brought with them.
That's not.
They're in grizzly country. It's wild.
The thing about grizzly country is you can't trust a grizzly bear.
No.
Because
Who said you could?
The Grizzly Man. You ever seen that documentary? He trusted a grizzly bear, and you know what happened?
That documentary falls in that category. Can't ever won't watch it again.
Listen, you, me, watching the Grizzly movie, and we're going to get in a fight, and then we're going to hug at the end. And all will be right with the world.
I would rather watch that than The Road, though. And it's real. And so that tells you something about The Road.
You can bear it, but you can't bear the road.
Can't do it.
Bear.
Can't do it.
Grizzly.
Oh, I get it.
Though. It's a grizzly bear.
No, I get it.
And it's a commonly used
I get it.
Okay, so just whatever.
So, one other thing that we wanted to do today, because it's been a minute since we've had this.
Oh, yes.
We have a review from Crindy. This is a review of a movie that you might not expect. It's an older film.
Yes, she did Into the Archives.
Into the Archives.
With Crindy.
Into the Archives with Crindy. Ba-dum-bum. I love how that's always...
Ba-da-ba.
Yeah.
It's the music that plays after, but don't take my word for it. Ba-da-ba. Ooh.
Look at us.
We should have harmonized that. We'll practice it.
Blood Harmony.
Band name.
Yeah. The thing that we have.
Right.
Okay, so this is for a movie review for the talented Mr. Ripley.
God, what?
Didn't see it coming. But she just got the itch to watch it.
I intentionally didn't read this so that I could react to it in real time.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so I've just now recovered somewhat from seeing Elvis. You guys know she had a tough time with it. Last week I found myself scrolling on Netflix and found this gem from 1999. I've seen it several times, and I don't...
Who has seen the talented Mr. Ripley several times?
Crindy.
Weird, Mom.
And I don't want to know what it says about me, that I thoroughly enjoy seeing a person completely take over someone else's life and destroy him, but whatever. At least in Mr. Ripley, the characters are all so whiny and entitled and bratty that you kind of really enjoy watching their demise.
This is some dark stuff from Crindy today.
Anyway, the cast is full of really talented actors. Matt Damon, are you keeping up with his best friend Ben Affleck and J-Lo, who just elbowed their way into a Vegas wedding chapel and tied the knot? I ask you, who would leave Jennifer Garner? I mean... Jude Law, Gwyneth, with a Y, Paltrow, Kate Blanchett, and Philip Seymour Hoffman, who played a rich brat better than anybody else, rest his soul.
Jude Law's hairline's still hanging on.
Yeah.
It was started way back then.
Yeah.
He's fighting a good fight.
Yeah.
Sorry, back to it.
I don't want to give anything away, but there are lots of shenanigans from these crazy kids that include errant playboys, taking lots of money under false pretenses, wild parties, stolen identities, broken hearts. Get over it, Gwyneth with a Y. He's just not that into you.
Oh my gosh.
Rowboat oars and heavy statues to the head. That about covers it without giving it away. This movie has a fun, if you are moderately twisted, plot surprise at the end that will leave you scratching your head and wondering, who in the world would leave Jennifer Garner?
Brought it back home.
Brought it back home.
Oh my
Crindy
gosh.
loves a callback. It's where we get it. So what's your warm heart?
I would say that I got to take Manny to see the Minions this week. That was a fun little kind of getting close to the end of summer hang with that dude. So
love going to the movies. It's good to be back here, isn't it?
We had a good time. It's great.
Do you want to know my warm heart?
You're gonna say it regardless. So
and I'm gonna stare deep into your face.
I don't like
from behind this pantyhose cover while I tell you. You know what mine is? And I mean this, mister. Watching you play music live.
Oh.
Yeah, even when you're sweating through your shirt. When you sang Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah.
I sang Jeff Buckley's Hallelujah.
Jeff Buckley's Hallelujah. I teared up. And I was so dang proud.
Okay, so hey guys, I'm uncomfortable with emotion, so we're going to call that good for the day. And my sister and I are going to have words.
Let's go watch The Road.
Okay. Have a good day. Hey guys, follow us on the Instagram, the Twitter, the Facebook. Give us a rating, like, subscribe,
please,
share
we'll
it, please.
We'll
give you gum. We're so sad. Okay, guys. Bye.
Bye.